Well, as you know, if you watch this network, the health care plan passed with limited public support. The stimulus plan faced similar criticism, and now we have the financial regulation bill. So how does the president keep passing massive legislation with underwhelming support? His critics call it Chicago mob-style politics. So what if the mob actually ran the government? We're going to ask Vincent Curatella, who spent 6 seasons as New York crime boss Johnny Sacrimoni, am I saying that?
Correct,
right?
yes.
Okay, good. On the HBO series, The Sopranos, which was so much fun.
Thank you.
And so scary. I loved it. Great acting, too. All right.
What?
If the mob ran the government, what would you do with all these initiatives?
Well, first of all, there would be no deficit. Those guys don't lose money. Number one. Number two, you need something here called street sense. You don't need a guy from Harvard who's done absolutely nothing, never signed the front of a paycheck saying, I'm going to handle your money. I think that the tick-off was during the campaign when he said, we're going to redistribute the wealth. Well, who are you? You're not going to redistribute my wealth. This is America. But the mob, they make money.
Health care.
Yeah. Health
care reform. If the mob handled health care reform, how would it happen?
I think probably more people need to get a job so they could buy some. Okay, I'm not against, obviously not against the truly disenfranchised, God forbid. I have no problem with that. But, when a guy is sitting around in his pajamas and his robe, he's eating Cheerios, going to watch television all day, waiting for the check every month, I don't want part of that check to be my money.
We've talked all week long about financial regulation, what's going on with the banks, very controversial, Goldman Sachs, how would the mob handle the banks?
Very low interest. Don't you believe that, Jerry? We'd lend it out for very low. I'll tell you something. They don't lend anyone any money. As a matter of fact, I know a guy who, I hate to put it in that range, $7 million home looking for a $2 million mortgage. The bank is giving him a hard time. I mean, they don't lend money out anymore. They only collect fees. You have to quick start. You have to jump start. Look what they're doing in India. They have that micro investment thing. Micro lending. They'll lend someone $100. That turns into many thousands after 2 or 3 years.
They do it with women.
Women
get that money.
And as they should, because the men over there are lazy. So the women are going to get everything done.
Okay, send your emails to right over here.
Go ahead.
But come on.
What?
Like this country, so much debt, $13 trillion in debt.
Yeah.
How do we get out of that? I mean, really. I mean, so much for the mob running it. If we had to work with the existing politicians we have, what would you have them do?
I would have them go and check out every kid sitting on a street corner in every small town, in every city in this country, grossing $1,500 a day, $2,000 a day, selling weed, selling crack. Where's his tax return? How do you grab part of that? Why do you keep bothering me, you, and everybody? You know why? They have our name and social security number because we filed already. They keep, hey, Jerry, you want to help us a little more? Hey, Vince, you want to help us?
Yeah.
What about the 48% of the people pay income tax? What about the underground economy? The money goes out of the country every week. Guys work hard. They're landscapers. They work in kitchens and restaurants. They send $300 or $400 home to Guatemala, Mexico. Those wiring places, let them hold 15%. Send it into the federal government. We never tap these people. The money leaves the country. They don't buy a car.
We're losing a lot of money.
We lose a lot of money.
It's leaching out of the system.
Leaching is a good word.
Now, there's one big defender of the taxpayer out there, the governor of the state that you live in.
Chris Christie.
Chris Christie.
Love him.
Is he going to be able to make a difference there?
He's going to
Jersey,
yeah.
Horrible situation.
Horrible situation for the last 40, 45 years in the state of New Jersey. But you have to understand, a school superintendent is not supposed to make $369,000 a year in a small town in Bergen County. This is where the problem is. We're all tired of the property taxes. Again, too much special interest.
Can he break that up, though? I mean,
yes, he
one
can.
man. It's really one man.
He can do it because of the fact that people, even silently, are for him. Even union people who say, you know what, this is out of control. Because those people live there. Those people pay property taxes. But we've had so many, we've had double dipping, triple dipping. You get a pension for this, a pension for that. Out of control.
How would you compare him to New York's Governor Patterson?
There's no comparison. You're talking about a Mercedes and I don't know what. Chris is the Mercedes.
Chris is the Mercedes.
The brain is working.
You live in Jersey. Do you see change happening?
Yes, I see attitude change happening, which is a really good thing. I see consolidation of services. Police departments are talking about banding together now. You know, we need them. These are all people who serve us. No one has anything against them. We're just trying to all be able to afford it from now on. And most importantly, our children and grandchildren.
Do you think Christie will run for president?
I hope not.
You want to keep him in Jersey?
I want to keep him in New Jersey. I did ask him one question, though. I said, listen, Chris, if it happens, my wife Maureen and I would love to sleep in a Lincoln bedroom one night. He turned to me and he said, it's a layup. We weren't about.
Wow, okay, you've got an end there. All right, well, get him on our note.
We want to keep him in New Jersey. I think he's going to stay in New Jersey.
Vince, thanks for your help today.
My
We
pleasure.
appreciate it.
My pleasure.